All right, folks, welcome to this video on how to use Toon Boom and drawing substitutions to create a lip sync. Um, so in this one, we're going to go ahead and we'll start out by going to our harmony, and I'm going to call it lip sync, and I'll just add substitution. I'm gonna put it, yeah, that'll work. But if you need to, you can browse, go to wherever you're trying to go, hit select. I'm gonna leave everything else as it is, and I'm gonna hit create scene. And so for this activity, there are two files that you can access. Go ahead and bring this over here. And I'm gonna do restore default workspace. It may move everything around, but we'll take a look real quick. So Windows restore default workspace. And then put it back into place. All right. So if you've watched my other videos, you've seen how to get started in Toon Boom. So this one's going to be more of a just showing you the drawing substitution. We're also going to bring in an audio file. So first things first, I'm going to go to File, Import, Sound, and you should have a file called hello there new.wave that you could have downloaded. It's a real short piece that just says hello there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. When I do, you should see down here on your timeline, we get a layer called hello there new, and we can actually see the waveform for it. Now, if you try to scrub through it right now, you probably don't hear anything. But if you turn on this audio piece, it will allow you to hear it when you hit the play button. If you turn on this button, it'll allow you to hear it while you scrub through so that you can use the sounds that you're hearing to figure out how to do your lip sync. Now, we are not ready to even start lip syncing yet because we got to create the mouth movements. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and lock that layer. Then I'm going to go to File, Import, Image. And I'm going to browse for the file you could have found that was called mouth chart. And then just hit OK, which is at the bottom. So I got to move this off screen to see it. And so we get this mouth chart. So what we're going to do is on this drawing layer, I'm going to go ahead and call this layer mouth sketch. And now that I've got that kind of set up, I'm going to also, on this mouth chart line, I'm going to lock it so I don't accidentally draw on it. I'm going to do a file, save as, and, or actually, let's not do a save as, let's just do a file save, because then it'll save it into my Toon Boom scene folder that I created. So then next, we're ready to start tracing these basically. And so what I'm going to do first is grab my paintbrush tool, set my properties accordingly. And right now I'm just going to use black ink because that's really all I need at the moment. Some of these have a little red in it. If you're having trouble seeing it, just turn the light bulb off right here or on. If it's on, it lightens it like it's a light box from old school animation. If it's off, then it shows you it in its normal color. And so I'm going to turn it on so that I can tell the difference between my already drawn stuff and the original. So what I'm going to do next is just with my paintbrush, I'm going to start with this first one, the sound for the I'm going to trace that. So that puts it on frame one. Then I'm going to move over to frame two. I'm going to go ahead and draw the next one. And I'm not too worried about it being perfect right now because this is kind of just a tutorial to show you how to use it. Now for you, you can pause the video, take your time, making sure that everything is perfect. You can add the color in there. So if I wanted, I could go to white, grab my paint bucket, paint the teeth, go to red, paint bucket, paint the tongue. Now I've got that one. Go to the next one, grab my paintbrush. Oops, got to make sure I put it back onto the black outline. Now, if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know there's a different way to utilize color in Toon Boom using the color layer over here. But for this piece, again, I'm just kind of showing you how to do this so you can quickly get started. All right, so let me paint this one, and I'm not going to do all of them. I think I'm just going to do these first couple just to show you how it works. Um, you know what? Let's go ahead and do all of them. Might as well finish it out. I think I'll do all of them except for the extra, but we'll see. Maybe we'll just do it and have a complete mouth feature. Now, obviously, with these designs, you are going to want to make sure that they fit the character that you have created. So your mouth shapes will look a little different than mine because your character should probably be a little different than mine. Actually, I think I forgot to color the teeth on this one. Let me check if the other teeth are colored. Yeah, that one's good. So your mouth will be designed based off of the character you're creating. And so I'm going to go ahead and just keep. Oh, I drew in white. Let me do Control C. There we go. And so you'll still kind of use the same mouth movements for your character. The shape might be a little different than what we have here because your character, the way their mouth looks, might be different than what we're seeing here. But you can still kind of use the same design. But the big thing is you get all your drawings done so that you have these different mouth movements. And then once we get them done, we can use drawing substitution, which is a process that will allow you to reuse them without having to draw them over and over and over again. And so it's an easy way if your character is going to hold a lot of the same pose, or the viewpoint of your character is going to stay the same, you can easily just animate their lip sync without spending a whole lot of extra time. All right, so I've got all of my pieces here. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to actually take frame one. I'm going to grab my arrow tool, my selection, select everything by dragging mouse holding and dragging a circle around it. I'm going to move it to the center. Do the next one, select it. I'm going to turn on my onion skin over here. I'm going to move it close to the same spot. Go to the next one, select it, move it close to the same spot so that my mouth is still all originating from the same area. And do that for each frame, selecting the next frame, moving it to originate from the same area. Oops. Don't grab the middle pivot point. You may have to play with their positioning a little bit later, and that's fine. I'm just trying to get them put together for you to show you how all this works. All right. Now I've got them all in place. If I scroll through, that doesn't actually look too bad. Okay. Oh, did I miss one? One of them is still up there. Let me see what's going on. That one's still up there. Somehow I missed it or undid what I had done. All right, so they're all in one spot. I'm gonna go ahead and turn onion skin off. Just test them one more time. Okay, actually doesn't look that bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my mouth chart and I'm gonna unlock it and I'm going to right click and delete that layer because I don't need it anymore. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take my mouth sketch layer that has all my sketches. Over here on the right, there's the library tab. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to left mouse click and hold the mouth sketch layer and drag it to the library and drop it. And you'll see it puts what looks like a little Lego over here. And it says mouth sketch. If I select that and right click, I can go to edit symbol. And all of my frames are in here. And so I can edit them in here now. And it will edit the symbol. And anywhere I've used this symbol, if I've edited it, it will update wherever the symbol was used. So now if I go up here to the scene window, you'll see that I'm on mouth sketch symbol. If I hit this top button, it takes me back to my original scene. So now that I've got the symbol made, I'm going to take my mouth sketch layer. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Don't need it anymore. So I've got my symbol. Then I'm going to go to the plus sign, create a new drawing layer, and I'll call this lip sync. Hit add and close. And then I will grab my symbol up here in the library, left mouse click and hold, drag it down to the first frame. Now it puts that very first drawing there. Then I'm going to go to the end of my waveform, which is right about here. I'm going to click and I'm going to press F5 at the top of my keyboard so that I can extend the exposure. And you'll notice now this exposure looks a little different. It has these little tick marks on a blue little, instead of being a gray bar here, which it normally would have had, it has this bluish tint with these tick marks. And so what that does is that lets me know I can substitute my drawings. And so I'm going to go ahead and stretch these around real quick so I can see more of this one right here, this mouth sketch symbol. So I'm going to try to drag it down some. And if I go to frame 1, I've got it set to be just a mouth closed. If I start to scrub through, right about here is when my talking starts. So what I'm going to do is on this frame, I'm going to go ahead and under my mouth sketch symbol, I'm going to slide this little slider over. Oops. Let's see. There we go. Go to number 2 maybe. And I'm just going to do that to show you that it now puts this solid line. That means it goes from this mouth shape to this one. So he starts to open his mouth. By here, he's making the H sound, the heh. So I would go to here, slide it to make a wider mouth. And so now he goes heh. Then by here, he's doing the L sound. So the kind of the flicking the tongue at the back of the teeth, which we don't quite have that exact one, but I think we can get by with this one. Then he goes to down to the O sound, so we need the O shape. So let's see which looks like the best one for the O. We'll try that one. Then he goes back to maybe a closed mouth again. Then he starts to say there, there. So kind of the little flick of the tongue behind the teeth. We'll try that one. There. Then he gets to the eh sound. And then the R. And then maybe close the mouth again. Now you'll want to play with this obviously and get it just right. But now you've created this lip sync. You've got your audio, and you've got your mouth movements to match it. Now, character needs a head. So what do? I can go to my mouth sketch symbol in the library, tell it to edit symbol, and in here, I'll just create another drawing layer. We'll call it head, hit add and close, and I'm going to drag it to the bottom. For now, I'm just simply going to make it a simple circle. So I'm going to grab my paintbrush and stretch this back up so I can see my color palette. And I'll just draw a circle for now. And then I will paint it. We'll just let's do white for now. Okay. Then I'll go to this last frame in here, press F5. So let's say that's the head. Up here, I'll just click on top again. And now he's got his head. Obviously, he spends more time drawing that. So now you've got a lip sync. What you can do next, if you needed to move it around, maybe the head needs to move or whatever, just take your lip sync layer, click this add a peg layer. On that peg, I can then go to first frame, grab my transform tool, and put it where I want it. Makes a peg. If I need to move over some, so I can start animating where it is. It's still talking, and all I got to do is change the lip sync or the drawing substitution. So that's how you go about creating a real simple lip sync. You can also use drawing substitution for a lot of different things in your design. But finally, when you're done, you do a file save. Then you can go to File Export, Movie. You want to do movie because if you do a GIF or something, it's not going to keep the audio. But you can choose QuickTime or H.264. This is the more common one that's on like YouTube. It's a smaller file size as well. QuickTime allows you to do a transparent background if you need that. But if I go to here, set my location, hit browse, I'm going to call this lip sync, hit save, tell it my frame. So I've got 30 frames, so 1 to 30. And then I'll just hit OK. It's going to render it. And if I go to my downloads, I should see my movie file. Open it up. See if it keeps up. Make it fit. So you've got a lip sync. All right, so that's all I got for this video. Hope it helps you out with some of the projects that you're doing. Stay tuned for other videos that will be posted. All right, talk to you soon.